But if you're new here, welcome. I am lulling Lisa, hoping to lull you into a state of relaxation, sleep, or just entertainment through ASMR. Today we are back with another Kokology test, our favorites from book 2. Now this is the game of self-discovery. I often refer to these as imagination personality tests or scenario-based personality tests because I give you a scenario, I have you imagine it, and then based on your answers to the questions posed in this scenario, we find out a hidden attitude of yours about sex, family, love, work, and more. So it's quite exciting. Now we've done some long-winded ones where like the answer is open-ended. Then we've done some short ones where it's essentially just asking you one question. Today I thought we would do like 2 multiple choice test ones because we haven't done multiple choice in a bit. And I surprisingly miss it, even though I used to find it a little constricting. I do enjoy the multiple choice. So I'm going to read you these 2 tests. I'm going to paint the scenario for you, so hopefully you're in a relaxing environment and you're able to just imagine and try to go with the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? In this case, there's going to be options to choose from. You just pick the one that is best for you, okay? Okay. So, this first test that we're doing out of the 2, this test is called Skimming the Surface. And this says, we humans excel at many things. However, floating isn't one of them. That's true for me. I can't float in the water. Sure, with a little practice and a lot of effort, we might manage to keep our heads above water for a few laps in the swimming pool, but none of us would fare very well if dropped in the middle of the ocean without a life preserver. I always think about that actually, so it's funny. But, as always seems to be the case, human ingenuity has made up for the shortcomings of the body and provided us with boats. And thanks to those seaworthy craft, now there is no spot on the surface of the world's waters that lies beyond our reach. I would argue the Bermuda Triangle. Anyway, all jokes aside, okay, here's what we're getting you to pick from. So they're going to give you 4 options. Just pick the one that, you're the most drawn to right away, okay? So this says, imagine that you are a boat floating on the water. So you are a boat floating on the water. Which of the following best describes you? 1. A raft of rough-hewn logs. 2. A sturdy rowboat. 3. A racing yacht. 4. A cruise ship. Something came into my mind instantly, so I'm just going to go with it, but I'll read this to you again just in case. So, imagine that you're a boat floating on the water. Which of the following best describes you? 1. A raft of rough-hewn logs. 2. A sturdy rowboat. 3. A racing yacht. Or 4. A cruise ship. The test is done. That's why we're doing 2. Okay. But the answer's a little bit longer, of course. So, now that you have your answer, let's find out what it means about us. So this is the key to skimming the surface. Let's find out what this means, what we're analyzing about ourselves. So, Ships and boats are most at home when surrounded on all sides by nothing but water, unimpeded by obstructions or boundaries of any kind. That reminds me of that quote, a ship is safe at harbor, but that's not what ships are made for. Picturing yourself as a boat in the open sea conjured a similar image of life, unfettered by restrictions or limits. The type of boat you saw yourself as is linked to the ways you prefer to spend those precious moments when your time is truly your own. Okay. If you said, number 1, a raft of rough-hewn logs, this says, you spend your free time drifting from place to place and enjoying outdoor activities. Your interests range from intense sports like kayaking and rock climbing to relaxing pastimes like camping, fishing, and simply wandering about. The important common thread is a natural setting, and you might be just as happy to spend a day lying on your back in the grass, staring up at the clouds. So, did you pick number 1, a raft of rough-hewn logs? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hewn, rough-hewn logs. And was it accurate? Next is number 2, which I chose. This just, as soon as I read it as the option, I realized I was already imagining a rowboat, so. Number 2, a sturdy rowboat. So this says, nothing relaxes you like working up a healthy sweat, and it shows in the ways in which you spend your days off. High impact, low impact team sports or solo. You love the way it feels to put your body through its paces. No, that's not me. Although I feel like even in this pregnancy I've been particularly active, where up until recently I was walking like 10,000, I would say 10K a day really. So like over 10,000 steps, sometimes close to 15,000 steps. Just my last month I would say, after getting sick, I cut it down to about 5,000 steps a day, 6,000. So I'm active in that sense, but I'm not a sports person by any means, so that's not accurate, unfortunately. Alright, well, next. If you picked number 3, a racing yacht, that says, what better way to spend a lazy summer afternoon than racing around at breakneck speed? Up-tempo recreations are your preferred method of entertainment, whether they take the form of fast-paced sports, high-stakes gambling, or games requiring split-second timing. Did you pick this one, and was it accurate? Next, or should I say lastly, 4, a cruise ship. Everyday life is exciting enough as it is, and slow-paced cerebral activities are just what the doctor ordered when you have time to unwind. A game of chess or crossword puzzle, a leisurely walk, a nice long book, perhaps a game of shuffleboard. These are the things that you look forward to while away the hours. So definitely that's more like me. I'm a cruise ship. So this was wrong for me. I just imagined like being a peaceful boat on the water, and then when I thought of a cruise ship, I was like, too big. But yeah, that would have described me more, because I love games. I love games. Board games, video games, card games. I love games. I like unwinding with that. So yeah, this test wasn't accurate for me. Okay. Now we have another multiple choice one. Similar concept. So it's going to ask basically 4 questions again, and it seems to be water-based. It's called Dancing Waters, so we'll do this together and see where this takes us. So this says, fountains add a touch of magic to any public space. The fine mist carried into the breeze, the gentle sounds of water. Sorry, I'm blocking out the light, but it's comfortable to read this way. The gentle sounds of water falling into water. I love that. The sparkle of light as it plays on the rippling surface. It's enough to transform a humdrum little park into a fancy setting. Perhaps that's why the local fountain is such a popular meeting place for romantic assignations and getting together with friends. Now here's where the test comes into play for us. So it says, close your eyes and imagine a park with a fountain. So close your eyes, you can do it, and imagine a park with a fountain. You have arranged to meet some friends there before a night out on the town. What kind of fountain do you see? Okay. I know you've probably imagined it by now, but try to pick the one from the multiple choice that best describes what you're thinking of. Here are the 4 options. 1. A single jet of water blasting straight up in the air like a geyser. Sorry, it's Geyser. 2. A number of medium-sized fountains in a sparkling array, their spray dissolving into droplets of mist. 3. A smallish bubbling fountain. Or 4. An intricately engineered and complex water sculpture. This is hard for me because I'm trying to fit the one that I imagined into the scenario. So I'll read it again. 1. A single jet of water blasting straight up in the air. 2. A number of medium-sized fountains in a sparkling array, their spray dissolving into droplets of mist. 3. A smallish burbling fountain. Or 4. An intricately engineered and complex water sculpture. So before I begin, I was kind of imagining the fountain in Rome at the Pantheon in Piazza della Rotonda. I was just imagining that kind of fountain for some reason. Even though the many fountains of Piazza Navona would probably be my favorite, but that's the first one that came to mind. So it would be a large fountain that I don't know how to describe in the multiple choice. So I'm going to read them and see which one matches my description, but I wonder what you were imagining. Multiple choice can be hard. Okay, so here's the key to dancing waters. Okay. They may be impressive, enchanting, even magical. They may inspire romance or sheer awe. But one thing you can't say about fountains is that they're practical. The water goes up, the water comes down. What does it achieve? It's a little harsh. Nonetheless, we sense that the world would be a poorer place without them. Sometimes you need to forget about practicality and just cut loose and enjoy. And therein lies the key to this scenario. The type of fountain you imagined is related to the way you spend your money when enjoying a night out with friends. Okay, I'm curious to see where they're going with this. So, if you chose the option number 1, a single jet of water blasting straight up in the air like a geyser or gazer, it says, you're like a magician with money, able to make vast quantities disappear in the blink of an eye. It doesn't matter much to you the way that you consume it, just as long as you don't leave any leftovers. That makes you everybody's friend the first weekend after payday, and explains why people around the office have taken to calling you Old Faithful. Sometimes these just make me laugh. Okay, I would say mine is somewhere between... I would say it wasn't obviously number 1. I would say maybe it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 4. So I'll read them and we'll see what I relate to the most. But if you chose 2, a number of medium-sized fountains in a sparkling You like to use money to impress, spending it in a flashy way to guarantee maximum effect. You have been known to order food you don't even like simply because it was the most expensive thing on the menu. As long as you're willing to keep paying the tab, there will always be people willing to act impressed. No, doesn't sound like me. Sorry if I was covering the camera for a bit. No, but if you chose number 2 and it sounds like you, let me know. Maybe I'm number 4 then. Okay, so this is now number 3. A smallish burbling fountain. Burbling, that's an interesting word. You are a conservative spender, that is, on those rare occasions when you spend anything at all. You figure the sales tax for everyone's bill when you split the tab and then whip out your coupons. Your spending habits definitely aren't going to make you go broke, but if you don't loosen up those purse strings a little, you may find yourself going solo. It's interesting. A little more frugal. Did you pick number 3 and did it sound like you? Next, or lastly, we have number 4, which I think would be mine, but I'm not sure. This says an intricately engineered and complex water sculpture. So this says you're a schemer, always trying to make more out of your money than there was to begin with. You count convincing a waitress that you qualified for the kiddie meal discount when you were 15 as one of your proudest accomplishments. That was a weird sentence, sorry. It's not the money itself that is the issue. It's just a medium you use to express your creative impulses. That may earn you a bright future in trading stock options, but getting thrown out of a movie theater for sneaking in the emergency exit is not a good way to score points on a date. I don't know about those tests. Did you choose that one, and was it accurate for you? I don't know how I feel about those tests because I didn't fully relate to any of them. I hate to bash tests because I love Kokology. I love the books, I love the tests, but I don't know, these particular tests didn't really speak to me. Maybe because they were multiple choice and I am sometimes finding it a little restricting doing multiple choice. On the one hand, it can be nice because you don't have to overthink, but on the other hand, it's a little restricting, so interesting. Did you find these accurate at all or not? And if so, please share your answers, and if not, share them anyway as well. These tests are always so fun and they're always so interesting, so I'm glad we can do them together. Whether or not the answers are true, again, just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's our Kokology test for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time.